And we're back at the view from here. Anyway, so what's going on here?
Well, we were talking about you being gay. We were.
Just for you people, I said, I could just start this podcast again. You said, go ahead.
That is absolutely true, by the way. We were talking about
It's not true.
gay.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
First, in the sense that I'm a happy guy, yeah. But that's it.
You're Don Amici gay?
Don Amici, what the hell is that?
Don
Amici
actor, and he's
I know who he is.
Gay 90s movies. So it was like
I got to plug in my computer. Hold on.
Well, I was hoping that he would leave. So, let's see.
Okay.
Well, another it seems there's been another mass shooting at a school at I believe it was a Catholic school.
Madison, Wisconsin, I think.
Yeah. And they're saying it was a woman. It wasn't. It was a male that was made up to be it was a transvestite, a transsexual.
Oh, I heard that it was a transsexual. Then they said no, it wasn't a transsexual. That they were saying that, but it wasn't. And we got we shouldn't spread things that are false because otherwise our credibility goes. Then yesterday I heard somebody else say that it was probably a transvestite, but there's no indication of that. And this person did leave behind a manifesto. But this person had a boyfriend who was apparently let the authorities know about this manifesto. He didn't get it in time before or it wasn't seen in time because apparently she screwed up and didn't make it public before,
We still don't know if the she's a he, right?
She, he, whatever. I don't know. I won't speak on it because I don't know.
Okay, last time I heard, they said it was a transsexual.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, the depression goes a long way.
Here's the other thing. If she is a transvestite, then this is further proof of what I've been saying. The only trans killings are the ones that are being committed by trans people.
Well, it makes sense that here's the thing. I see this what they like to call transsexuality, which is basically neutering oneself. I see that as an avenue for depression.
Your volume's a little low again today. Can you up it?
I'll sit a little closer.
Oh.
Do you think it changed again?
It's a little bit better, but I think it may have changed. Your settings sometimes that happens on computers. For some reason, the volume controls change.
Right.
Double check mine.
Well, I won't do it.
I'm at 98. See, I'm okay, but
system. So anyway, my point is, and I'll try to make this while I'm doing this other task, is that to me, transsexuals are, by their very nature, depressed. They're not happy with their sexual, the sex that they've been received. They're
very disturbed.
So, because of that, oh my God, it did it again. Here you go.
Whoa, that's better.
I'm going to have to check that every time now. I didn't realize that was an issue.
Unfortunately, yes.
But the thing is that this was also, again, another parochial school. So the thing is that if you look at the Christian faith or whatever, it is a quote unquote sin to do what they're doing. So that is a judgment against them from a religious base. So that makes sense that a person like that might actually, run amok against people that simply refuse to accept them for what they've chosen to become.
How come they go only after Christian schools and not, for example, Muslim schools or Jewish schools?
that was just my point. The point is that the religious institutions are describe it as a sin. Therefore, the way to get back at the religious institution to just finger them out is, okay, I'm angry at you. I'm going to take you down. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, but what doesn't, they're not attacking the Jewish schools, which there are plenty of, and they're not attacking Muslim schools, okay? And there are some. I know of a Muslim academy about a half hour from here. Anyway, okay. I think this just came to me. I'm thinking that they don't want to mess with the Jews because the Jews are an eye for an eye. So they'll come back and maybe take their family out or something. Or and they won't go after the Muslims because if a tranny goes after a Muslim kids, there's going to be jihad on trannies. That'll wipe them out for sure. Then you'll get a tranny genocide.
I think first of all, there's not very many. I know that the Christian institutes there's plenty of them. I don't know how many there are. These others, I know there are synagogues, and synagogues have been
attacked.
It's just that
but synagogues are usually attacked by some Muslim crazy or some KKK type asshole.
Yeah, I don't know the who's most likely to do that. All I know is that if you are a person who has decided to basically dismember themselves or cut into themselves or do whatever it is that they do, and you're depressed because the fact of the matter is you came to the realization that your dream of being this other sex is impossible, and now that you've actually participated in that, there's no doubt. So now you're angry. So who are you going to strike back at? Religious institution. And the thing is, the options are plentiful.
They're claiming that this latest shooter was anti-male. Okay, not necessarily anti-Christian, but anti-male, and that she hated men. Period. But she had a boyfriend, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't know what the story with that is. A boyfriend. It could, if it's a male that's been modified to appear like a female, that's not the same thing as two heteros coming together. I mean, it's completely fruitless. So, but the thing is that, it's children. Okay, regardless of, I'm not trying to understand these people at all. They're attacking schools. They're shooting children. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to understand somebody like that. I mean, yes.
Well, to a certain degree, you should.
And people like that, people hunting these cats down, they need to understand it. But, for me, it's just another sick son of a bitch that, they did shoot him. They did take him down. Unfortunately, the damage was done.
Yeah, well, Josh Firestein, the comedian who's often on Louder with Crowder, he said, "How do you know? How do you know it was a female shooter and not a tranny or not a guy?"
Right. Go ahead.
She mostly missed.
Oh.
She killed two people, a teacher and another kid, and wounded a couple of others, I think.
Yeah, I thought 5 injuries were in place, 2 were killed.
Yeah, 5 or 6, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. I mean, that school is never going to get over that. And the kids are traumatized. Like as in any kid in a war zone. So, it's just. And the other possibility is the reason why these people go apeshit is because possibly the anti-gun movement or those people who are trying to get the guns out of your hands psyop this guy. I don't know.
Well, here's another thing. They started right away. They started calling for more gun control and this and that. However, the odd thing is, a couple of days ago, when that CEO was killed, they were not calling for more gun control. No, no, no. They were calling for more people, more of these killings to happen. They were applauding it. Okay, they were applauding, and some woman was saying that we should publish a list of all the CEOs of all the insurance companies, and claiming that I'm not suggesting we do any violence or anything, but just put it out there and see what happens.
Oh, was that Stacey Abrams?
No, no, no. No, she's too busy being the fake governor of Georgia.
Well, here's the thing. I really don't want to spend any more time on this, but we need more people in schools that can maintain security. I mean, at least they stopped this person before the numbers got massive. Because I mean,
she killed herself. They say.
Well, yes, yeah.
It could be that after she shot a few people and only killed a couple of people, she said, "Oh, I can't do this." Boom. No, but it was a 9mm handgun, not an AR-15, not an assault rifle, but she used a 9mm pistol. So maybe she was limited in ammunition. Maybe she had 1 or 2 bullets left and decided to use one on herself.
You mean a 9mm assault pistol?
Now it's an assault pistol because it assaulted someone. No, but I don't think it assaulted really. I think she assaulted people using it. But hey, that's my opinion. What am I? I'm just
somebody took her down. I didn't know she committed suicide.
They said that by the time cops got there, she was dead.
Oh, okay.
They tried to revive her and all, and tried to give her first aid, but she was gone. Apparently, she'd shot herself.
Well, there's another story that can't be told now. We don't know how she was influenced. We don't know who she was associated with per se.
Yeah, well, not till they released the manifesto.
Oh, well, the thing is, if we're asking the federal government to go ahead and study these cases and give us real information, they don't even know anything. You know what they said about the drones? Yeah, they said the drones are hobby drones. Yeah, some of them have been reported to be as large as a small car.
I've heard as large as a bus and as small as a Buick. I don't know why they picked Buicks. That was another talking point. They're all saying like small Buicks. What the hell? Why not just a small car? That's what I heard a few times. Then all of a sudden they went to Buick. Word got out. No, let's make it a Buick.
Well, it seems to me like there's product placement there. That's for sure. but the thing is, hobby. Okay, so let's say that the government's official statement that these are just hobbyists, legal hobbyists. What are they doing over these people's private property and stuff?
Oh, here's another bad thing. One place they were definitely said to be hovering over, Bedminster, New Jersey. Now, Bedminster happens to be the spot where President Trump owns a golf course, right, and he often stays there when he's in New Jersey.
Right.
So now, if like somebody was saying, if they were testing these to see if they could augment the security at that site for when Trump is inaugurated, then okay, nobody's going to object to that.
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
Alexa, shut up. But if they are using these drones to try and probe the security at the place, that's a problem.
Well, Trump made an official statement about this, and he essentially said the government knows, it just doesn't want to tell you.
Exactly, which I think everybody believes, and except for the government, they think we're stupid.
Well, they don't give a shit whether you're smart or not. It's not that they just know they're not going to give you the information, and they don't fucking care.
Yeah,
they're indifferent to their wrongdoings.
Yeah. Speaking of wrongdoings, did you see that Biden or his handlers, whatever, is considering preemptively pardoning not just the members of his administration, but the members of the January 6th committee, including that bitch Liz Cheney.
Well, you can't pardon somebody if they haven't been found guilty of an offense.
Which is why they're saying that this Hunter Biden pardon may not be legal, right, constitutional, or valid, because if he hasn't committed a crime and hasn't been convicted of it, there's nothing to be pardoned.
Yeah. It's like showing up at a gas station without a car and say, fill me up.
Now, if you've been convicted of a crime and then they give you a pardon saying any crimes you may have committed along the way during the, while you committed this or you committed this crime, I'm pardoning you, and for any other crimes you may have committed during this certain period. That I think is okay. But to not be convicted of anything, I don't know if you can be pardoned.
I would say that I would limit it to you are pardoned for this offense and any associated offenses.
That would make sense, yes. However, right, this pardon for Hunter Biden goes back 10 years. That covers Joe Biden's ass when he got the prosecutor in Ukraine fired because he was investigating Burisma, and as a result of that would have been investigating the Biden family.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Hunter's he's been having a good time. He's been having the so much fun. And, what I really feel sorry, most of all, when it comes to Joe Biden, is that Hunter Biden, unfortunately, is the smartest guy he knows.
Yeah, there you go.
That's very sad.
That includes him when he looks in the mirror. Let's see. Okay, what else did the government do here? By the way, these pardons, if they go through and that means there would be no accountability for anything anybody would do, because in the future, all presidents will pardon their entire administration for whatever may have happened, and nobody will be accountable for anything. So during any particular 4-year term, that administration and its people will be able to get away with anything, and not be accountable for it.
Well,
that's not a good road to go down.
The problem: how is Trump going to pardon Jan 6ers if they haven't been made guilty?
They've been imprisoned. They have been. A lot of them have been tried, and none of them convicted of insurrection. They were convicted of trespassing, mostly. And you're going to trespass, and you're going to get 2 years, 3 years in jail 4 years in jail for trespassing. Okay, and and those people who did commit violence, because there were a few, but that's because the Capitol Police started shooting tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowd, and the crowd said, "Fuck you, we're not going to take this." And those people committed some violence. Some people did tear up some things in the Capitol building. Those people have already been punished enough.
Right.
President Trump can commute their sentences to time served.
This past week, the FBI admitted to having 26 operatives in the crowd. That they admitted to.
Yeah. But they wouldn't agree. It wouldn't admit that they took part. I mean, in any of the violence. They wouldn't say either way.
Right, but they were there, and
instigators.
Well, yeah, I think so. And the original number that I heard was 200. So
that's what I heard too. 26 is what they're admitting to.
Right.
I wonder if that includes Ray Epps.
Well, they're saying that they're not agents; that they're operatives. So they're people that were working in agreement with the FBI.
Yeah. Oh, just like I heard today. Derek Chauvin, the guy who was falsely convicted of killing George Floyd. First off, apparently George Floyd was still alive when he got to the hospital. So Chauvin didn't kill him. And he died before the coroner was forced to say that he died from that.
I'll you out on that one. He used his knee on Floyd. That was a kung fu chi energy attack, and it takes 15 minutes for it to effectively kill the person. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you're talking like Count Dante of Chicago from 40 years ago.
well, I heard that there's this kung fu move where you could put energy into somebody, and then minutes later it was the walking.
Yeah, they said that's how Bruce Lee died too.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to Chauvin, the guy who stabbed him 20 times or whatever it was in prison, he is an FBI informant. Can you put 2 and 2 together?
Yes.
Can you put 1 and 1 together?
Well, let's put it this way: it's exculpatory evidence that is worth exploring. You know, the thing is that you know, if you're going to have an informant and he's in jail, you know, it could be a coincidence, but yes.
Yeah, but government, you really believe in coincidences? Come on.
Well,
by the way, speaking of the FBI, I heard an FBI agent. He was saying that once you're an agent, you know, being an agent on the street, you're there to do what the FBI is supposed to do, what you wanted to do when you joined it. But he said once you start rising in rank, you can't help get caught up in the corruption of the agency.
Right.
And he's saying that when President Trump gets in, he's going to have to probably cut the top 60 people in the agency in order to restore its integrity.
What
did you drop?
Something I want.
All right. Let's see. What else? While you're listening, do you know that they just came out yesterday with a correction on the second quarter job growth? Okay. It was all false. There was no job growth in the second quarter of this year. None whatsoever. They did it because the election was coming up, and so they falsified the records for the public to try and win the election. Fortunately, that didn't work. I see you got a donut there, or do you have a shitter on your chair?
That is a cushion.
For you, because you get it up the ass and sometimes it hurts, right?
You wish. This goes back to the conversation that we had earlier about you being queer for the rear.
You think and you wake up.
So the thing is that if you were, okay, you can confide in me now, but I don't really fucking care.
Oh, yes.
The only thing I'm concerned about when
I'll give you a Seinfeld answer. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, it's not fruitful, that's for sure, unless of course you're making a pun. But the thing is,
yeah, that would be painful, man. Shit.
Well, the point is that it does not produce offspring, so it's very.
Also, you walk around shitting yourself all day because you don't have the muscular strength to hold back whatever's in your bowels.
Has that been your experience?
No.
I didn't know that.
I can tell you, I don't wear any Depends. I don't wear any diapers. I wear nothing like that. Just my boxers. That's it.
Just like a fucking Bruce Springsteen fucking cover. But anyway.
Bruce Springsteen cover.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He's such an asshole. You know, he's as stupid as De Niro, really. Well, what's the name? Megyn Kelly called De Niro stupid yesterday.
Good. That's about time he found out.
Yeah, but he probably still doesn't understand.
I understand that a lot of the people in the various industries, such as musicians and.
Are you sucking on something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the arts community, okay, they're very they're very afraid to be pushed out because the arts is a very cliquey group, artists, musicians, because you really need acceptance from other artists in order to succeed, because a lot of it is subjective. It's not objective.
Yeah, but that's not the case with either De Niro or with Springsteen. They've got more money than they can spend in their lifetime. One,
they're so
doing
used
it because they believe what they're saying. Okay, which makes them stupid.
That they might be delusional enough to believe what they're saying, but the point is, once you're in the habit of always wanting and receiving affirmation from these groups, you're addicted to it. So, it's like, they're, I'm not saying they're not responsible for what they're doing, but, it goes with the territory. I went to fine arts school and commercial arts school, and they were both cliquey. And in order, it wasn't, the teachers were somewhat objective, but they were also affected by popularity. So, if the right people showed up at your event, that mattered.
Hmm.
If just a few close friends showed up, it was a failure.
Yeah. Oh. By the way, speaking of failures, Assad was doing a Baghdad Bob just the other day, saying, "Oh no, the rebels are attacking, but it's okay, we got it under control." And then later that afternoon, he flew off to Moscow. Right? Anyway, I saw an AI video yesterday on Instagram. It shows Assad, and it looks like he's behind. It says Assad in his new life in Moscow. And you see he's driving a cab around in Moscow, around Red Square.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there's an Arabic song going in. He's supposedly lip syncing to it.
Right.
Anyway, I thought that was funny. Well, I guess you have to see the
thing. A lot of these things are very visual. It's AI produces some pretty videos.
You see the ones with Trump today? Trump yesterday or this morning came out and he's got a new haircut now. In fact, I joked to my grandson, "Hey, Trump's got your haircut now, which is short over here, a little long here, and pushed up." And they showed that one. Then I'm looking on X, and they've got all kinds of different things. Like one guy put a beard on him and said, "If Trump," he called himself B. Bob Clinton, right? and said, "If Trump grows a beard like this, you hoes are done for." And then they showed another one where you see Trump as he is now, and then they show one of him with no hair, bald, and they're saying that he should do this. And another one had the bald thing. Then they had one with an Elvis Pompadour. Then had another one with him with a mohawk. Another one with a mullet, a ducktail, all kinds of shit. So like they've gone crazy about it just because he changed his hairstyle.
I get a kick out of sometimes watching the AIs that they'll say a particular movie like Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It was made in 1950. It's like amazing. Like they'll have various actors that you go, "Oh wow, that would be a very good choice," for this or that or the other thing.
Character. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's done in that kind of Technicolor thing. That's pretty cool. And the first time I saw it, I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't know it was an AI driven thing. I was like going, what?
Where did you see this, on X?
No, on YouTube.
On YouTube, okay.
Yeah, they have a bunch of them.
I'm gonna have to search for these.
I stopped watching them because I have a problem with AI, and that is that one of the ways I would think that AI would basically dominate the human race is by serving it and giving it entertainment, bread and circus, until we become,
which is what our human leaders have been doing to us for years anyway.
Yes, but the thing is, I think AI is probably going to do a better job. And the thing is, because at the snap of a finger, it can produce hours and hours of mind-numbing entertainment.
And they can do it. It can do it in seconds.
Right. That's the old snap of the finger.
Yes. Well. All right. I'm sorry for being so redundant.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you repeated yourself on that one. But the thing is that it's just, I've been saying this for the past couple of months. Probably the most dangerous thing for us as modern people is the acceptance of convenience. Convenience is making us sloppy and weak. Yeah. So, it's like what I
said before, civilizations go up the stairs in hobnob boots, and they come down in slippers.
Well, they're talking about kids lately, and kids spend almost no time outside now.
Yeah,
which is absolutely unhealthy. So,
and when they are outside, they're on their phones anyway.
Right, but the thing is that they're not doing any kind of true physical activity. They're not playing games outside and doing stuff. Supposedly, according to people that measure such things, they're saying it's that there's like 20% of the activity that
used to do.
They're only doing 20% of what we used to do.
Well, and the human race is getting weaker and weaker and smaller and smaller. It's like they say that those aliens, they have different aliens. They have the grays, who are the little skinny ones with the big brains. Then they have the big ones who are, well, they're muscle, I guess. They're enforcers. But it's like the less you have to do, the more dependent you become on those who serve you. And that could eventually lead to those who are serving you realizing, hey, we got the power. We don't need you. Okay. So, and also it brings to mind the song, one of my all-time favorite songs, In the Year 2525. Whereas man evolves and has to do less and less. Now you don't have any legs. You don't have to walk around. You're going to be carried around. You don't need your arms. You don't need your teeth or some machines chewing all your food for you. You don't need to chew anything. You don't even need to see. So eventually, mankind just disappears in that thing.
Yeah. Most people are very much attached to their phones. And
only the people who have phones.
Well, it's kind of funny.
It's true.
Yeah, and the thing is that the younger generation is losing the ability to socialize directly.
They have lost it. They don't know how to sit down and have a conversation for the most part.
What I mean directly, though, when I say they don't know how to socialize directly, is that they know how to communicate across the phone.
Yeah.
But they don't. Right. Yeah, they in-person stuff they're having problems with, and
they're awkward. Everybody's awkward when you start off communicating. Like when you start going out with girls when we were young, of course we felt awkward, right? But this is feeling awkward with anyone. They can't even talk to their parents, grandparents, nobody. They don't know how to communicate. And it was difficult for us as kids to speak to adults also, at least at first.
I'm in contact with a lot of people under 25, okay, because of my game stuff. And they're very sociable amongst themselves. So
but you're an outsider.
They're constantly communicating their game talk. And I think games, because tabletop games, force them to be social. And I think they're probably in better shape than a lot of kids are.
Yeah, because the kids who do nothing but video games are not, they're not talking, really, they're not communicating directly with somebody, only indirectly through
Yeah,
the chats
psychologically,
and so
they
forth.
are getting interaction, which makes them feel satisfied, but it's not the kind of interaction that we feel promotes healthy behavior.
Right.
It's this virtual experience. So, and
Yeah.
I I don't know. It we let this happen.
Yeah, but how are you going to undo it at this point?
You have to give
That's
him a
the problem.
reason. You have to give him a reason not to. Something better. So the thing is that something that gives them the feedback that they're looking for. That so this way they get their joy. So I mean, as I understand it, uh, population is diminishing, except amongst the illegals. They're probably screwing left and right.
Oh, yeah.
But population is diminishing, and education is going down the tubes. I
Well,
understand.
part of that, the reason for that is the teachers themselves who are
Right.
not teaching what they should.
All the adults are responsible. So the other thing is that um, plastic bottles and things like that promote sterility. So we have a lot of things that are assaulting us, and many of the chemicals that Americans surround themselves with or ingest are not allowed in other countries.
Right.
Last time I checked, there's 1,500. So we're convenience is making it difficult for people to say no. Like, oh, look, you're not making any real money. Okay, so here's a $2 hamburger, and it does taste good. It's extreme. It's kind of like a drug. You take a drug and you feel really great, but
Yeah.
are you great? Are you really great? No, you're
No.
not. It's a chemical illusion. So yeah, we have some problems there, but thank God Kennedy is going to be
Well,
on
wait a
top.
minute. I just speaking of Kennedy, I just saw yesterday. I saw part of a video where some woman representing some organization is calling Kennedy first an anti-vaxxer, and
Right.
he is, for example, he has come out in favor of the polio vaccine, and she's using that, saying that he's being hypocritical, he's lying. He's saying he's in favor of polio vaccine, but he's not in favor of the COVID vaccine. But you know, apples and oranges, but they don't give a shit. Okay, they're
Well,
trying to get a message across.
it's the
What?
same as saying that you don't like Volvos. Okay, so that means you dislike all cars.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing: they're just going to come up with this rhetoric, and those people that are not willing to take the time to reason it out, that are already polarized, just
Yeah.
are trench even deeper.
Well, this woman was saying that a lot of the things that Kennedy is espousing are really good for you. Espousing getting rid of are really good for you. All this chemical laden shit here. That they are force feeding us. Big Agra and Big Pharma and what was it? Big what? Big Tech have been pushing Congress now to try and shall we say dismantle Doge or make it ineffective, and also to make Kennedy ineffective when he gets into office by trying to entrench certain behaviors, certain things. You see that Biden is also trying to hire, I forget how many hundreds, how many thousands and thousands of people right now before Trump gets in, to make them permanent employees of the federal government, with salaries as high as $300,000 a year.
Mm.
All right. He's trying to leave a big nut for Trump to get stuck with, so that they hope that he will have to raise taxes and so forth. Well, and those people who oppose tariffs, they forget one thing. Trump is the author of the Art of the Deal. Okay, he's a master negotiator. Even his enemies, admit to that. Now, you negotiate from a position of strength. That doesn't mean that, when he talks of tariffs, doesn't mean he's going to put tariffs on every one of our trading partners. But if he can get a deal and Trump normally likes to do win-win deals, not a win-lose deal. He doesn't like that, because then you're unhappy. You're going to try and change it later on. He tries to get a win-win deal with each individual person or entity he negotiates with. So he is using the tariffs as a strength. That's his ace in the hole. Look, we either come to an agreement or this is going to happen. That's cut and dry. Okay?
This is how I see it. Everybody knows that is willing to think that Trump won by a historic mandate. That about
tariffs.
That about I would say 2/3 of the country is in favor of him. Okay?
Yep.
Now, those people are going to vote. And corrupt politicians or people that are more concerned about their political future than necessarily doing the right thing do not want to get on the wrong side of that. Otherwise, they'll be out of a fucking job. So the thing is that right now, the Republican Party has political clout. And regardless of
how to use it.
Yes, well, they do know how to use it. You just got to get in. That's all. So anyway, the thing is that once these decisions are going to come to a head, okay. If these political players want to stay in the game, they're going to have to satisfy the masses that voted for Trump. Or they're going to get voted out, and then we'll just do it again. And the thing is that I don't think anybody believes that this is going to be fixed in 4 years. This is the beginning. But what's going to happen is this is that foot in the door. Okay? But we're not going to barge through all the way yet.
No, but we're going to have to make some progress at least to keep the door open.
I understand that, but I think what's going to happen in the next 4 years is people, regardless of how entrenched they are in their delusions, are going to have to admit that Trump made things better. And, so then we're going to get Vance, or one of his other superboys. So the thing is that they're basically throwing out as many caltrips as they can to slow down the wheels of progress. But the thing is that most of it can be undone. It will slow people down, and it's a spoiler move. It's a move to burden him with as many problems as possible. But the thing is that Trump has allies now, and they're not just allies that have been assigned to him by
they're handpicked.
Yeah.
By the deep state.
Yeah, they're originally a lot of the people that Trump had at the start of his
Washington good old boys.
Well, they were actually put in there by Obama. They snuck Obama's people into his group, but he is now experienced, more experienced than
I'm aware.
Yes, and the thing is, he's surrounded by loyalists. He's surrounded by intellectuals. Guess what? He's not surrounded by fucking diversity. So the thing is, when you start insisting that bitch over there or that asshole over there has to be in because he fits a certain color criteria or gender criteria or sexual criteria, okay, you're not picking the best. Now, Trump is picking the best.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what color you are. He doesn't care what sex you are. He doesn't care how, whatever. He doesn't care.
The job he's picking you for.
Meritocracy first.
Right.
So MAGA is
what scares the media.
Yeah, MAGA now stands for meritocracy again. So, the thing is that these people, it's easier to create discord than it is to create order. It requires more energy to create order. It requires more understanding of systems and structures to create order.
Uh-huh.
So Biden,
these guys, remember Vivek and Musk. They are guys who are going to look at take a critical look at the government and try and cut fat out. And remember, these guys are systems guys. They are not. It's what they call system guys. You use a system rather than just like try this, try that, try that. No, you use a system to trim down the.
Well, they've already discovered $100 million that have been that is being spent for what is that? Organizations or things
that are working against the United States.
No, worse than that. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, even worse.
They're paying the American people are paying $100 million for groups and tasks that aren't happening.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're in hiatus. They've been dissolved.
Also, since the COVID thing, did you know this? That there are, I think they said it's as high as 75% of federal employees don't even go to work at all. If they do go to work, it's once a week they have to show up. But most of them are staying at home, getting paid to supposedly do their job from home. They're not doing much. And a lot of them apparently have taken a second job to keep busy because they're getting home, they're getting paid for this, but they're not doing anything. Why don't I go out and make some more money?
Well, maybe we could also stop that pronoun study in Pakistan.
Oh, that's fucking ridiculous. Oh, we should stop all foreign aid that doesn't have to do with immediate assistance, immediate real assistance, humanitarian assistance. Yeah, it's not humanitarian to have these pronouns in Afghanistan or to study, women's what is it? Women's rights in Pakistan and stuff. There are no women's rights in Pakistan.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
well, we gave them a few $1 million last year, I think, to study the sexual activity of certain frogs.
That's important. That is very important. The frogs really care about that shit.
I'm not talking about the French. I'm talking about real frogs.
Oh, Frenchmen?
No, I said I'm not talking about the French.
But yes, the thing is that in order to feed this corrupt regime that we have in place, you have to have all kinds of stealing and shifting and so forth like that. And so that's going to get exposed. So right now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to steal as much shit as possible before the store closes on them.
And, did you see what Biden's doing with the remnants of the wall that are still in existence?
Yeah, selling on the dollar.
Yes. Okay. That's a fucking betrayal of the American people. That is treason.
Rumor has it that as soon as Trump is in charge, he's going to buy them back for the same price that they paid for it, insist upon it. Because that was See, the thing is, like,
otherwise tariffs.
See, like, I forget how much those pieces of wall are selling for, but it's something ridiculous, like $5-10 a piece or something like that.
A lot of money.
Yeah, and I also let you know where that money's going to. Was it paying for more transitions? So, you know, it's such a target-rich environment when it comes to corruption in the Biden regime that you don't even have to be well-read in order to go ahead and talk about it. It's just like it's just one.
Yeah, but there are still people who don't believe that that Biden is corrupt, or who say, "Well, he's an old man. Who cares? He's on his way out. Who cares?" Yeah, you gotta fucking care at some point.
Well, the thing is that there are the people that are delusional. They're scared to death. They don't want to believe that it's true. I mean, look at 9/11, right? As soon as I found out they were using the term 9/11, I said, this was orchestrated. They picked the perfect date, 9/11, which is the same as our emergency phone call thing. So,
it's like 7-Eleven, but that would have been product placement.
But 7-Eleven, yeah. But the thing is that when the Twin Towers were attacked, and I came to the conclusion that it was an inside job.
What are you, a monkey? You're grooming yourself? What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I told you long ago, the reason why I don't like doing videos is because
I like to groom yourself.
First of all, it's my fucking ear. I can do whatever I want with it. It's itchy, man. It's itchy. It's not like I'm jerking off here.
Yeah, you're like the man from Nantucket. If your ear were, well, okay, go ahead.
People do not want to believe their government wants to eat them because the government is big and scary, much bigger than they are. And if it wants to eat you, there's almost nothing you can do but run, possibly, for a while. So, especially nowadays with all the security cameras, I mean, it's ridiculous. That you can't hide. You have no privacy anymore. Privacy is an illusion. So,
yeah. I mean,
it just, it's terrible stuff. It bothers me, but hopefully, with Trump in office, things will start making sense again.
But I hope so. I mean, if they could cut the did you see? Speaking of budget, did you see what Congress is doing under Johnson? That son of a bitch Johnson has betrayed us again.
Yeah, he's a load.
Yeah, he is pushing the Omnibus Bill. Rather than have us vote on 12 different bills, they're putting it all together in one omnibus so that you're going to get the good with the bad. And the lobbyists have been scrambling to put on little things here and there for more and more money all along.
Pass. I was listening to a report on that. This one guy who happens to be, experienced in such matters, he says the reason why it's going to pass, the reason why they did what they did, is because the congressmen and senators, etc., they want to be home for Christmas.
Yes, exactly. I heard that too. They want to be home for Christmas, and we've been told over the years, look, you either pass this bill or you're going to spend Christmas with Nancy Pelosi. Now it's with somebody else. But at the time, for years, it was you'll have to be there for Christmas, putting up with Nancy Pelosi in the House. All right, but now they want to pass this bill so they can go home. But you have plenty of time right now between now and Christmas to go over each bill and vote on one bill or even two bills a day. Yes or no? Okay, then we know who's really got the interests of the country at heart and who doesn't.
Well, all I know is that if you're in Congress and your strategy to pass a bill is that we give it to the people before Christmas, so this way they pass it because they want to have turkey tomorrow, then not only you're not doing a job, but the people that are voting on it are fucking useless.
Well, did you see what Rand Paul said? He said if it gets through the House, and it probably will, that he's going to try to do his best. And another senator from out west somewhere, I think Republican Senator Rob Johnson, I think his name is. What?
They're going to filibuster?
They're going to try and stop it. They're not. He said. Well, they said this one senator said if it passes, it's going to be without my vote. And Rand Paul said he's going to do whatever he can to stop the bill there. And I mean, if otherwise, if the continuing resolution isn't passed before Christmas, guess what? The government has to shut down. So what? The government shuts down every fucking weekend, every holiday. Does it affect us? No, not in the least. In fact, it probably makes your life a little easier when they're not around. Okay? And so it's not a big deal closing the government down. And the other thing, the government employees and all, first off, the essential services like the armed forces, they will get paid no matter what. Okay? Essential Congress won't get paid, but when they come back and the budget's on again, they'll get all their pay retroactive. Just as all government employees may be out of money for a month or two or only a week, but then they get a check for the whole amount that they were owed for that time. Okay, so they're not going to lose anything either. Don't let these liars in the media tell you otherwise. Oh, these poor people, they don't have money for Christmas. Bullshit. They're going to get their money sooner or later. So they can borrow from their relatives or from a bank because they got money coming in the future. A big amount of it. Big hunk. All at once.
Matter. That doesn't fucking matter. The thing is that if you have a bill that's in front of you, and if it's no good for the country, whether or not you get paid or not, you have an obligation to say no to that bill. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. If I were in Congress, I would say, you got some good things here, but you got even 10% is no good for the country. It's bad. I'm voting against it because I will have to kill. That's why we needed a line item. Well, not with this asshole as a president. Line item veto wouldn't do anything except he'd kill good things for the country. But a line item veto, you get something like this, and it goes in front of a decent president's desk, a real president's desk. He could say, "Oh, you want money to study turtle sex in Indonesia? Fuck no, that's out. I'm vetoing that part. You want money to send to schools in America? Okay, that's a good thing. We're going to do that.
Okay.
We need a line item veto and we need term limits. And those are two things that Congress just won't touch.
I have a problem with term limits because it implies that after a certain point, an individual is incompetent. And I think it's dependent upon the individual. I think
I agree with you to a point, but I have to disagree because the founding fathers, their purpose was their intent was you would go off and serve your country. It was public service. You would go serve for 1, 2, 3 terms maybe, and then you go back and live among the people who elected you under the laws that you passed. That's not happening with a lot of these people. Biden's been there for 51 years in Washington. Okay, what's his name? Schumer. He's been there since he got promoted at the Last Supper from waiter to maitre d'. Okay.
I think it's worthy to explore what we think is the motivation of the Constitution or whatever from the founding fathers. But the real question is, what do we think today? What do we think today? And I don't see that particular model that you just presented as being essential. It's an interesting idea, but I don't feel
First off, you get new ideas, new blood every time that somebody steps down, somebody steps in. Okay? It might be from one party to the other each time, but you're going to get new ideas, new people.
I think regardless of your age, make it global. Every year or every 2 years, you have to take a cognitive test. You don't pass it, you're not capable of performing the tasks at hand, you know?
Yeah.
And so if you make it global, then you're not singling people out and going, oh, that guy's like 70 years old. He should take a test. No.
Sometimes you got 25-year-olds who are incompetent. I don't think AOC could pass an IQ test.
She has an IQ?
There you go. See?
I didn't know that.
Oh, I saw a picture. They showed Dianne Feinstein, right? It shows her when she first got to Congress, a young woman, and then it shows her just before she died, that withered prune. And it said, here's an argument for term limits.
Yeah, it's an argument, but it's not it's not justification.
Look,
again, cognitive.
Okay, go ahead.
Now,
I agree with you 100%. Okay. Oh, here's another thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see them.
He's 78 years old. He's a dynamo.
Oh yeah, he's got more energy than some young people I know.
But a lot of people would presume that anybody over 70 or 75 should not be in a political position. Yet he's extraordinary. So the thing is, should we risk losing our greatest simply because of an accountancy issue?
No, it should be cognitive decline should be the determining factor.
To be honest with you, maybe at some point the test should happen more often. So, but the point is,
once a year would not be bad. Once every 2 years at least.
Well, once a year is not a problem.
Especially, I don't think it's a problem either.
If you break it up into 12 months, where a portion goes here and a portion goes there.
What's wrong with sitting wait, they're all sitting in the Congress as it is. While you're there, it's like in a college classroom. You got the amphitheater, you're giving a test, and everybody takes the test at the same time. No cheating, no peeking.
What they used to do when they were teaching Zen, in Japan and in China and stuff, the master would walk behind the students, and they would hit them. Okay, so this way they would get used to the idea of maintaining their focus regardless of being struck. They'd have to keep in a meditational state and be struck. Well, I think we should do the same thing for these guys. So but in our case, we Americanize it. You hit the guy, and if he turns around and goes, "What the fuck?" He's okay.
You hit him again.
He's fine. Then you go on to the next guy. You hit him and goes, "Son of a bitch, you're good too." And the other guy goes ahead and gets hit and goes, "You pony sucking dog soldier." He's got to go. I forget what he called the guy.
What was it?
Pony dog.
Pony dog. Pony dog.
Pony dog soldier.
Pony dog soldier. But what the hell was he referring to? He said more than that.
Well,
a dirty pony dog soldier or whatever. I don't know.
Dog soldier was a type of Native American soldier. I forget what tribe pony they were.
Weren't they the Black Cavalry or something?
No, not in this particular case. These guys, these Native Americans, what they would do is they would get a wet thong and they tie it around their groin and make it tight. Yeah. So they'd be in excruciating pain. And they really until the battle was over. So they were so enraged. They fought, no pun intended, like the Dickens.
Like, either fucking kill me to get out of this or die so I can get out of this myself.
Well, you go into battle, you're dead already. That's just the way it is.
That's the way you have to look at it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. It's 7. It's after. It's almost 7:30 now. We've gone about an hour, a little over an hour. I do have some things I have to take care of tonight.
You do.
So we're going to cut this thing. Oh, one more thing I just wanted to bring up. Did you know that there were $300 million given to Reuters? Okay. Reuters, 11 government agencies gave this $300 million to Reuters, the so-called news reporting service, which, by the way, I must say, since the 1890s, has been owned by none other than the Rothschild family.
Okay? That's the rumor.
That's not a rumor. Anyway, now Reuters targeted Musk, and after this money was given to them, Reuters started targeting Musk's business dealings.
Right.
And now all of these places, what was it? It was all paid to Reuters, and then Reuters wins a Pulitzer Prize for the reporting on Musk.
Well, I think they deserve a prize because anybody can create that much fiction, and be that accepted, has definitely achieved something.
Well, another reason I have to go. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
Hi, hold on one sec. All right, we're going to cut it here now, and we'll see you again next time. So have a good night, folks, and we'll see you again next time on The View from Here.
Bye-bye.